guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Style Sessions. My name is Aaron Selberg. With me, as always, is Jeremy Reed. And, of course, we are having some technical difficulties again. Here we go.
How you doing, bud? I mean, hey, you know, it wouldn't be us if we didn't, right?
Good
I mean,
Lord.
It has been a constant battle for us in some of the technical difficulties we have.
We're at 2 cameras this week. I was recording, but not recording. I think I'm recording.
Looks like we're recording.
I don't know.
It's one of those things, and our week's a little disheveled this week anyways.
Yeah.
We had some scheduling conflicts, so we are in here on a Monday scheduling.
Yeah. It kind of throws me off. Usually it's like I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to kind of prep myself for this, and then Thursday we record. And today it's like...
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little different. It's a nice, it's a good change, but whatever. You know, we got some weird activities going, but today is going to be fun, just like every other day we do it. Something that we've been dealing a lot with already, and so I think it's just one of those things that sometimes we just we have other ideas like, oh, we need to talk about this, we need to talk about this, but things just kind of trump that, and right now that's homecoming 2022.
Yep.
As we're getting going on it, we'll kind of give some guidelines and some stuff like that. But I mean, it is full swing.
Yeah.
So over this weekend, I wasn't at the store, and obviously both stores were really busy with homecoming and stuff like that. But I was out at a charity event, and someone's like, "Oh man, and I was next to a guy. He's like, oh, there was someone, and complimented the guy I was next to about his outfit.
Sure.
And they're like, oh yeah, I got it at his store, which then prompted this whole fiasco, right? They're like, oh, what store do you have, and so I'm sitting there, and then I was bombarded by people that just come literally flooding to me. They're like, I got to ask you a question. I had 2 or 3 people at one time, just literally piling on top of me. Ask questions. I was like, one person at a time.
Like, whoa, guys.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Oh, don't mind me knocking stuff over. But but they were all jacked up because, their kid had just asked this girl to homecoming.
Right.
And they're like, what do I do? Where do I go? How do panic. Just panic was set in.
It's fine, man.
And I'm often reminded that, because I'm thinking, usually when you think of these events, you're thinking 18-year-old kids. Right. But a lot of times they're not. No. A lot of times they're 14, 15-year-old kids. Obviously, we do the 18 years well, but they've had a few experiences. So you got these young guys, and they're transitioning. We're transitioning in the 14 to 15. So, but you probably had some fun experiences with some young men this weekend, right?
Man, this weekend was pretty awesome. And it was crazy busy, and I had quite a few moms come in who were, vocal moms, but it's all right. It's all right.
And that's a good, polite way to put it, right?
I had a couple guys who were we'll get into looks here in a bit, but that were this is the style I want. And I'm like, yeah, but every single dude who's been in here today talking about homecoming, that's the look that they're going for. Yeah. And it's like, come on, man.
And so there is a little bit of a weird situation that we deal with on essentially every one of these things. The obvious is the first and foremost. Hey, parents, we love you. We love that you bring your kids to us. Yeah. But we also have to remember that styles and trends have changed since when we were kids and when you were a kid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And yes, that may be the way that you address or the way you address your husband or something of that nature.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the way these 14, 18-year-old kids want to dress, right?
Right.
That's not the style they're trying to do. And my biggest point, and this is with any age of a gentleman that comes in, and we'll dive in this a little deeper when we start talking about looks, is getting that guy to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not comfortable with what you're wearing, if you don't really like what you're wearing, man, pictures are going to be hell.
Yeah, you're going to hate
Pictures are going to be hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as much as you parents want, and I get it, and I said, it's just like that PSA, you know what I mean? I get it. You want to help and you want to guide them down the path. But you have to give them some leeway. You have to let them do their own style, their own expression. You know, and there's going to be times that we back them off of something that we're like, well, that's just too much. And like you kind of gave an example that, you know, we hear the same look, the same request from
every single dude wants to do black pants and a black tie, and then insert whatever color shirt that they want to do. That's every single dude that comes
right,
in here.
and that's
it's not a bad look.
No.
But it's like, you know.
But it's really not that awesome. It's not that awesome of a look either.
No.
You know what I mean? And here's the reality of it is that, you know, some of that is pop culture. You know, I referenced before the John Wick look and the Agent 47. All those, like, tough guy looks. You know what I mean? Which I get it. It's cool. You know what I mean? James Bond made the black with the white, you know, tuxedo. I mean, it was famous. So we get where those looks come from.
Yep.
But overall, we still have to have a little bit of a different style, a different vibe sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we don't, the last thing we're trying to do is send every kid to one homecoming looking identical.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I told a lot of them. I'm like, you're going with a group of buddies, right? Like you and your girl, you're going with a group of buddies. Oh yeah. They're all going to look exactly the same. You're going to look like a bunch of like replicas of each other.
Right.
And they all have the same haircut, and they all have the same like George Michael Careless Whisper earring or whatever that's going on now. I don't understand what that
is it not?
I don't get it. Yeah, it's either like this crazy weird mop curly headed thing with the Careless Whisper earring, or like a mullet, and I'm like, what is happening now?
It's like the Patrick Mahomes takeover. Like, doesn't it remind you of Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah,
right?
It does.
Like you see him in the commercials or the football on Sundays. It's like everybody's dressing and looking like Patrick Mahomes right now. I mean, and even one more thing on it, like you're talking about the curl hair. So my fiance, she works in that personal care field, and apparently that is like a mad crazy trend that these young men are literally asking for perms, like straight up, like going into salons getting perms done. Hey, I mean, do you? Everybody's doing you, though.
Everyone's going to come. You know what's coming back, though? Very quickly, it's going to be coming back. That Justin Timberlake ramen hair. That's what's going to be coming back. I feel it. I can feel it in my bones.
I can't wait, honestly. I'll look at it and I'll be like, I remember that look, bro. But so I guess, you know, we should kind of give a little bit of guidelines because, but truly that is what we're hearing. We're hearing a lot of the black shirt, black pants.
Yeah.
Throw whatever color you want in there.
Yep.
Now, I think some of it is pop culture. Some of it is, and this is not meant in a derogatory way, but inexperience or inability to plan an outfit that complements your date's outfit.
Right.
Aside from just doing something that's two colors and very simple.
Right.
So we're going to try to help that.
Yeah. So
I guess the best way to dive in would probably be me starting here with a question to you. Where would you like to see young men going when it comes to homecoming outfits? I mean, give us, first of all, before we dive into colors and all that stuff, let's just give like what items of clothes do you think most gentlemen are going to wear?
I think that I think most. I mean, obviously, like we said, it's most likely going to be a dress pants, shirt, and then probably a long tie. Which is fine. I mean, that's what everybody wore to homecoming pretty much. It's what we always have done. I think throwing like a vest or something like that in there, you know what I mean? Like doing a black vest and a black pant and then like a shirt and tie would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, but I think the big thing is this isn't prom.
Right.
You know, this isn't a tuxedo or even a suit for that matter.
Right.
In most situations. Now, I've had a few young men that have requested to wear a jacket and that's fine.
Yeah. We did a couple of rentals.
You're going to look cool. You're going to look great. Not required, though, most likely. Most likely, this isn't that super formal event. As I said, it's a shirt, pants, and tie.
Right.
Really.
Right.
Bow tie or Windsor tie is a little bit up to your discretion. I have a lot of young men asking for bow ties. Vest is a nice addition, though. I mean, it's a nice way to spice it up.
Yeah.
Give it a little more look to it.
Another thing I like to see is suspenders.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. That's a cool look. If you're going to do black pants and a basic shirt or something like that, you know, get a pair of suspenders that kind of coordinate with the tie that you pick.
Yeah.
I think the big thing for me, though, is like the plain black ties. It kills me.
Yeah.
Or plain ties in general. I'm just
ties
not
in general
a big fan
really
of.
aren't. That's and to be honest, it's not really a lot of our style, period.
No.
Like, it's just not what we promote. It's not. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the suspenders, honestly, are really huge. And definitely, I think if you're doing a bow tie look, I really think it helps because it helps get, definitely, if you're wearing a solid shirt and you just got a big block color of solid, I probably moved a little ways.
No, you're good.
But, you got that solid shirt and there's no color going down towards the base.
Right.
The suspenders would help because you add a color there.
Yeah.
So with all of that being said, and I mean, we've referenced this, like, I'm not going to lie. Every time I help a homecoming kid, and maybe it's just my personal, like, bias, if you will, I pretty much instantly pivot them from the start of, well, I was thinking black pants and whatever they say, I'm like, yeah, I don't care what you said because we're not doing black pants.
We're not going to do
that. So for me, I'm going to dive into some colors on this.
Yeah.
I personally, like, my go-to, we have a charcoal, and here's the thing is we've very specifically gotten some pants in for this occasion.
Yeah.
So we have charcoal. I think it's called ink, but it's just a nice bright blue, like a bright navy. We have like a light heather gray, and then we have a khaki pant as well.
Yep.
I'm usually in the first three. I'm in that charcoal, the navy, bright blue, if you will, and then the light gray. Yeah. There are some situations where I'm like, all right, let's pivot you over here to a black pant or a khaki pant, if that's what we have.
Yeah.
Now, also, some of this is first come, first serve, because the reality of it is shipping has gotten better, but it is hard because most of these young men are all the same size.
Yeah.
So once this young man picks that pant, we might have another one or two pairs of it, but the odds are we don't.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. So, but that's where I always start. When I start, I'm always like, let's start with a pant. Let's find a pant that fits you the way we like, which most of these pants, they are a slim-fitting, tailored pant.
Yeah.
They're ending at the top of the shoe. Not a lot of break on the pant at all, if any, sometimes. That's really where I'm starting when I build an outfit for a homecoming kid.
Yeah.
Because we're usually working off of a picture, or sometimes the young lady's there and says, my dress is this color, or sometimes they bring the dress in. The other location, we've got them, we're year 6 of this, So they know, just bring that dress in with you, and we're going to build an outfit with it. I built one the other day. We have a lot of solid colored shirts in, and some of that is, I think it's twofold. One, it's more price friendly for our younger consumers. Yeah. But two, it's also the compromise that I can make with the parents, because I had this conversation, and it was before this big shipment of shirts came in. So it was a really small, like gingham check, like pink, almost mauve colored shirt. We've talked mauve.
Yeah, mauve. Hell yeah.
And we had it. I can't remember who it was from, but we had it. I put it over like a charcoal pant, and we went to pick out the tie, and then that's when it popped in. And she was such a sweet lady, and she was like, "Oh, Mom, I trust you," and she went with what I said. But she's like, "All right, well, you got this, check shirt on, so you got to pick a solid tie out, and starts going for the solid tie, right?" And I chuckled because it was literally the week after we talked about.
Oh yeah.
And I said, so, and I looked at the young man. I said, so your mom's talking about like old school rules. I said, here's the reality. I just did a bit on this, and so I ended up showing him like a nice paisley tie that had the color of the shirt. It was like a blue tie with like a nice paisley in it. And laid it on. They're like, wow, that looks really good. I was like, yeah. But most times we're not getting to do that. We're not getting a mix of print, because usually we're compromising with the parents and saying, hey, we'll give you a solid shirt, but we're going to have a fun tie. So that's me on pants. My question to you would be this is, so you got the young lady there with you, or they got a picture of the young lady's outfit, if it's, and it could be any color, right? It could be pastel. It could be, one I see a lot is the ones that shimmer a lot, the iridescent ones.
Yeah, we had a kid and his mom who came in, and it was like a royal blue dress or something like that with like sparkles or some shit like that in it.
Sequins and whatnot. Yeah, really back.
I know. It's so weird.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
It is. And so like his mom was concerned about, the colors matching exactly. And I'm like, I get it. I'm like, but don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't have to match exactly. I'm like, I have a couple of options of ties that we can pick that are going to coordinate with it and have variations of color in it. That's the one takeaway I say from this is if you're wanting to coordinate with the dress, don't match it, coordinate with it.
I think that's a key word. Coordinate.
You're not going to be able to match it. You're just not.
Matching it is so hard to do.
It is.
I mean, in the wedding world or the prom world, sometimes you can get away with a little bit more of a matching because a lot of times those dress companies and suit or tie companies, whatever, will talk pre-order,
right?
And they'll order the same fabric,
right?
So then it's possible,
yeah.
But we're talking homecoming.
Even still, though, like we had a bride come in this weekend and book her wedding party, and they're wearing cinnamon, which to me is not cinnamon. It's actually closer to mauve. She brought the fabric in, and we had cinnamon in our Jim's book, and it was like what I would classify as cinnamon, which is like cinnamon. A dark burnt orange color.
Sure, yeah, that's what I would imagine cinnamon looking like.
Right, and so like these bridal dress companies, they I don't know where they come up with the names, but it's like it wasn't cinnamon. So,
and that's the unfortunate part. Is sometimes the names, they're like, oh well, it's this color. Like, well, just because that company calls it that color doesn't mean the next company called it the same color.
Exactly. So, but my big takeaway from all this is don't try to match the color. You're not going to get because here's the thing is like a lot of people don't realize this. Like if you have a royal blue and like a chiffon dress versus a satin dress, totally different shades of royal blue.
100%.
If they're called royal blue, they look royal blue, but they're totally different.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you add the sequins in there and stuff like that, and then it kind of changes everything altogether. Anyways, so it's like try and find a tie that coordinates with it. Don't match it exactly. Yeah, and matching like a dress shirt to a royal blue dress is
virtually impossible. Yeah. So I guess here's the thing, and I'm sure some listeners or if you're viewing us are asking like, well, let's just stick with that royal blue conversation.
Yeah.
How do you coordinate with a royal blue? Like, what's your first go-to? I mean, I know what my brain instantly pops to, like the outfits that I'm putting with them. But where are you going if a young man and his mom are here and they say, the outfit's royal blue, and it truly is a royal blue. No, and let's say it's sequin or whatever. What's going to be the first shirt or tie that you grab? Like, what's a color wheel that you're going with?
They wanted to do a gray shirt with like gray pants, and. And then, like, they asked me to help them pick out a tie, and I found one that had a little bit of royal blue in it. It was like a mainly gray tie, but we didn't have a lot to go with that. So I put down a pair of the ink Perry Ellis pants, a nice crisp white shirt.
Okay.
And then we have this beautiful paisley tie that has royal blue and navy and white and a bunch of other color variations of that blue family.
Perfect.
And it looked really, really nice together. Yeah. So that was kind of like, kind of where I'm at. Like, I get it. Like, I understand the whole wanting to, wear what everybody else is wearing, and I get that. But, the reality is that you gotta you want to look nice. You want to look. Exactly. You want it to look good.
So for me, like, on that, and I love that outfit. I think that's a great outfit.
Yeah.
My brain, and this is the reality of it, is that we're all going to have a slightly different take. It's going to be nearly the same outcome. Me, I'm doing a light blue or powder blue shirt, similar tie, if you know what I mean, like adding that tie, and then I'm doing the charcoal or the ink pants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm introducing that mainly only because white shirts are notoriously get dirty quick, easy. Not that other shirts don't get dirty; they just don't show it up as much, right?
Yeah.
But I guess that's the lesson to be learned there, is that you're not trying to match it. You're trying to coordinate it. And by coordinate, what we really mean is if it's a royal blue or a nice bright blue or something like that,
find a tie with that in it.
We're trying to stay in the blue family somewhere. Like you're going above it or below it in shades. And then you're hoping that the tie can have multiple colors of blue in it, right?
Yep.
And hopefully it'll catch it and it'll make it look right. And I think sometimes it's important to do like, I find it more important, I should say, to do like a tonality situation So what I mean by that, because I don't think that's exactly the word I wanted to use, but more so like if someone's wearing a bright blue, then keeping them with some bright blue in their outfit, where if someone was wearing pastel, then you don't want to put them in a real sharp color.
Right.
You know, you don't want to look like one person's dressing in spring and one person's dressing in midsummer.
Right.
You know, you kind of want to have the same shade, like the same softness. I guess, right?
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't think it's a hard and fast rule. I don't even have
No, I agree with that though. I mean, that's kind of like that's what we are talking about essentially is like coordinate. You coordinate, right? So it's like you find your color and then you find another color that complements it as much as possible. Again, matching unless you're going full on rental or something like that. And even still,
it's going to be so hard to do.
Yeah.
It truly is going to be so hard to match completely. But yeah, as I said, for me, like I think it's you take the input from the young lady that you're going with, but you still have to build an outfit that makes sense. Like 9 times out of 10, we have the young men go, "I don't care."
I don't care.
You got to care a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to care a little bit.
Yeah.
And
or it's those guys. The worst ones are the guys that are like, "I don't care," and then you like lay something. I don't like that. Like I thought you didn't care.
Yeah. And that's
wait, what?
And that's and so that's the other side. You got to pick one side or the other.
You can't do it both ways.
You have to care or not care, but no matter what, you have to enjoy what you're wearing. You do have to like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we do our best to get these young men to talk and give us feedback because that's key. So that's, I mean, pants are, in my opinion, gray, blue, charcoal.
Yeah.
That's really where you want to go. And the best part is those pants are going to be able to be used for the next few months for winter sports, dressing up occasions.
Depending on how old they are, they could wear them to graduation.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you know your shirt and your tie, you're matching temperatures, if you will, with the outfit. But it's something that the young man still likes.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks sharp. He can stand on his own and not look silly.
Right.
Like you shouldn't look silly in your own outfit.
Right.
You shouldn't have to be standing next to your date to make it make sense.
Yep. I agree. I think I kind of want to like, can we pivot to like things I would like to see guys do? Like I always get a lot of dudes that are come in here that are like, "Oh, I don't want a bow tie." Why? Wear a bow tie, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you're going to homecoming.
They're fun. Like
it's cool. I'm not talking about like a plain solid bow tie. We got a bunch of like really cool paisley stripe pattern bow ties around here that are beautiful, awesome bow ties.
Yeah, this goes back to a conversation that I think we've had before. I know I've had before at least. Gentlemen, this is high school.
Yeah,
I get it. Right now, it is it's the top notch.
Yeah.
But the reality of it, when it comes to everything else, this is a fun time to experiment with clothes and things like that, and express yourself.
Yeah.
Because odds are, when you get in the working world, or you're going to your best friend's wedding or something like that, you're not getting to wear a fun outfit.
No.
Right? You're wearing what that guy told you to wear.
Yep.
You're wearing what your boss told you to wear.
That's right.
You know, so this is one of the last few times that you really get to have some fun. Like I do. I mean, I'm surprised sometimes. I have a couple great stories. I'm not going to go into them, but where I have young men come in and they're like really, really just fashion forward, want to do something really cool.
That's cool.
And it turns out to be like one of the best experiences for me and them, because it gives me a chance to like be artistic and them to be like, I love this. And you can just tell how happy they are.
Yeah. Those are the best experiences. I think the hardest ones are the guys who genuinely just don't care. And you're just getting nothing back from them. It's so
like you're talking to the wall. You're like just give me something.
Yeah.
I would rather you tell me you dislike this than just say I don't care.
Because then I at least know,
like
okay, I don't do this. Let's do something else.
Right. Like I hate the color red. Okay, cool. I'm not going to show you red then.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, another common question, I'm going to see, and I mean, I think I know right where we both go on this, but is footwear, shoes.
Crocs.
What? Hold on.
Camo Crocs, man. I want to see them.
That was a straight full off guard laugh right there. Like I was what?
Full on, man. Put them in sport mode.
Get out of here with that.
No, yeah.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah,
my God, that was great.
We get that. I got that question a couple times over the weekend.
I think, again, parents often default to they got to wear a black dress shoe.
They don't have to wear a black dress shoe.
I
encourage you not to wear a black dress shoe.
100%. I had a customer the other day, and she's like, well, I think he's got a black dress shoe. I'm like, okay. Does he have a brown dress shoe?
Does he have a brown one? Because he's wearing navy blue.
He's wearing, I think actually it was a gray pant. I think.
Okay, yeah.
But I was like, brown would look a lot better with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Very, very much. It's still the shoe of choice, the shoe of color, right? That light brown, tan, cognac, anything in that wheelhouse is the shoe. You know, as I said. Yeah, maybe you're doing black pants. You can still do the brown shoe, really.
You can.
At least it'll make the black pants look a little more fun.
Yeah.
Odds are, you're not probably doing a black pant after listening to this. You're doing blue, gray, or black.
Hopefully.
Or blue, gray, or tan, or something
Hopefully.
Right? But so it's a light brown shoe.
Yeah.
The best part about that is if you get a good, solid shoe, and I'm not saying you have to be like us and go buy like that high-end.
No.
Real expensive shoe, but we have some shoes in that $100-some market. Those will last you the rest of high school.
Yeah,
permitting they don't grow out of them. You know what I mean? Which I get it. Kids
it's
grow.
True.
They grow quick.
It happens.
But that shoe is, again, they can wear it to the basketball. They can wear it to all these things they have to dress up for. You know, whatever they are. I don't even know what kids have anymore, but I know they have to dress up for sports.
Yeah.
Usually. So. I mean, that's definitely a big thing there. And then, the only last thing that we don't deal with it, but it's flowers.
Yeah.
So I think, in my opinion, it's once you have her outfit, you get your outfit, and then you kind of talk to the flower folks after that.
Mm-hmm.
And, the majority of those folks, they've been doing this, and they have an eye. And they can see what you're, and they can build you something that's going to make perfect sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, to me, I think that's really that's kind of the guidelines. My biggest takeaways are try to steer away from just like the black on black.
Yeah. One
color tie.
Yep.
Probably add a little color to your pants, to your trousers situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think your takeaway is probably the biggest, if any, is you're not trying to match.
Don't match it.
You're
coordinate
just trying to complement and coordinate each other.
I think to kind of go on with what you're saying too is like trust your salesperson. I'm not talking about we're not saying you have to come here to shop with us, but like wherever you go, if you're actually working with someone,
right,
trust their judgment. I mean, they're most likely they've done it for a while and they know what's going to work.
Yeah, exactly. So. If you go to a better men's store,
yeah.
If it's ours or your local and maybe you don't live nearby and you're listening out in California, we don't have a store there. If you're at a better men's store, trust the professional you're talking to, right? Because I mean, they know what they're doing. They understand how things are supposed to fit. Which we didn't really get into fit a lot. But I mean, the basic thing is trust the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
Now I say that if your budget, which it's hard to believe because I've bought things to price in at the same price that like Kohl's or JCPenney's or some of those big box names, our prices are pretty much the same as those guys on these particular items. So there's no reason you should be at those stores. But if you are at those stores, maybe don't trust your salesperson because you probably aren't talking to one.
Probably not a salesperson there.
You probably aren't talking to one. But if they seem like they have no clue when they look at the size and you tell them I'm 15 and a half, 34, whatever, and they're like,
what's that?
That means they probably don't know what they're doing.
I don't know.
Most better men's stores are going to know what they're doing.
Go to a men's store. It's fine.
Yeah, go to a men's store. They're going to have something in there that is priced very similar to what you find at those big box stores.
Yeah.
And you're going to get better service, a better product, and you're going to get some knowledge out of it, right? Because we always try to do that. I mean, we talk about all this stuff. We've talked shirt, ties, how to do all that. Your shoes, you're going to learn that you're going to want to match your belt with your shoe. We've talked about this in other episodes as well. But if you're just listening to the homecoming thing, I mean, that's your basic outfit is you're doing, a cool pant, shirt, tie, shoes, and a belt. Question for you, because this is a polarizing topic here. let's say you do choose to wear the suspenders.
Yeah.
Where are you at on the belt situation then?
Usually you don't do a belt with suspenders.
Correct. I agree. Yeah. Now, I know there are some people that do it, and I've usually found it to be a very, like an accent belt, like a bright, like something contrast to the outfit. Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily I don't recommend it. If you do suspenders, stick with it.
Yeah, I don't ever wear
a
belt with suspenders.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But I've seen some folks do it, and I understand what they're doing. I just don't think that I would suggest it.
It's very 1920s look.
Yes, exactly. But if that's the look you're going for, cool, man. Do it. Do you? But I think, with all that being said, my last little bit on the topic would be, trust that guy in front of you, trust that lady in front of you, whoever it is.
Yep.
Make sure you enjoy what you're doing. Dress it with confidence, because if you're confident and you like what you're doing, the reality of it is that's what you're going to get back from the people seeing you. They're going to like what you look like too.
Yep.
So a lot of it's your attitude, right?
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
Your confidence, style's confidence.
That's right.
There you go.
That's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Style Sessions. If you want to reach out to us, it's thepeoria@thatguysecret.com. Connect with us on social media. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, pretty much everywhere. Everything is linked and listed down in the description. Thank you guys so much again for joining us, and we'll see you